get camping eyes in the final hour. Last minute shoppers picking cauliflower. The fuss to make, I swear they were buying a car. They always moan, it's not so cheap. Cheaper still down the street. Lose my rag and tell them take.
They say being a taxi driver is like playing a game of chess. You move around the square, keeping in check, but when it's all finished up, you realise you've just wasted a fucking hour of your life. I fucking hate chess. Well, anyway, I'm Pete, and as you might have guessed, I drive taxis for a living. I used to work in Hackney up in London, but now I've started up my own business here in Plymouth. People always ask me, did you ever pick up any celebrities when you worked in London? And I always say the same thing, none of your fucking business. Although there was this one quite amusing incident involving a young Jeremy Beadle. It was before he was really famous, and I obviously had no idea who he was at the time, but apparently he was doing some filming for a new TV show. Basically, the setup of the joke was that he led down in the middle of the road behind my car and tried to convince me that I'd just run him over. As a lot of people tell you, I don't take shit from no one, so I just went to reverse over the bastard, but he was too slow getting out of the way, wasn't he? And I've only gone and fucking crushed his hand with my back tyre. There was blood everywhere. I thought it was hilarious, but I don't even think they showed that episode in the end. I did see him on telly shortly after though, and he looked quite well considering. Although it looks like the surgeon did a shite job on his hand. I've been living in Plymouth for a good few years now, since I was forced out of London after the Beadle thing. I'll tell you, that guy knows a lot of dangerous people for a TV prankster. I wasn't here too long though, before I got a job with a local cab firm down the road, but that didn't last long either, because some picky bastard started complaining about my driving. It wasn't anything serious, just a couple of fucking passengers started screaming when I hit a pedestrian down Greenbank Avenue. I told them what I told the judge. If I didn't drive off, I would have been late for my next pickup. Apparently that's not a good enough reason anymore. I tell you, it's political correctness gone mad. I did hit the guy pretty hard as well, and in the split second I saw him, he didn't look like he was going to regain consciousness, so there wasn't much point in me waiting for an ambulance anyway. Although, I did hear the guy made a full recovery, so, you know, every cloud. I just can't believe they bloody sacked me. Joke's on them though, I've still got one of their jackets. And it's one of those expensive ones with a fleece lining. Since I completed my community service, I've set up my own taxi company in Plymouth. And as I said to my lawyer, just because I've been banned from driving, there's no reason why I can't still work as a taxi driver. He seems to think that it's still breaking the law, but what the fuck does he know? Anyway, everything seems to be going fine for me nowadays. I've got a new paint job on my motor, and I've even written my own jingle. Make a call to Pete's Cabs now, you shouldn't have to wait. We haven't hit a pedestrian since 1998. It's pretty good, isn't it? But the best thing about being self-employed is that you never get sacked, no matter how many stationary BMWs you clip, or neighbours' cats you accidentally run over and have to bury in your back garden and hope they never notice. Actually, that was probably the worst experience I've had as a taxi driver. I know permanently disfiguring the host of You've Been Framed is a pretty big deal, but having to use a palette knife to scrape off the remains of the neighbour's Siamese from your front tyre is always going to be a gut-wrenching experience if I don't say so myself. I've been driving since my early teens, and by now you'd expect me to be a pretty decent driver. But there's so many fucking idiots out there who the minute they get in a car forget their entire Green Cross code. It's ridiculous. I mean, the other day I was driving down a one-way street and there were at least 6 other cars coming towards me the wrong way. I couldn't believe it. You made me expect 1 or 2 people to get it wrong, but there wasn't a single car on the road apart from me that was facing the right way. And then if that wasn't bad enough, the exact same thing happened on a dual carriageway just 2 days later. This fucking country. And another thing, what's the point in having speed cameras everywhere? It's like the government are encouraging people to drive slowly. It's a fucking joke. How's anyone supposed to get to work on time if we're all driving safely? Because of them bloody speed cameras, yesterday I had to take a shortcut for a pedestrianised area doing an excess of 50 miles an hour. Now you tell me, is that driving safely? Is it bollocks?